Greetings, everyone. This is the Hipster Snek, and today I am returning to the demo of Big Beautiful Women. You guys really seemed into this game, and the whole thing here, I feel like I did a little bit of a bad job representing this game properly. I actually got to talk to the game devs a little bit after the video went live, and that's been a minute, so let me give you guys some breakdown of some mistakes that I made. For starters, during the training and event sequences, I was under the impression that you would be doing it on a day-by-day basis, but you're not. You actually get basically 2 turns in a week, because you get to choose what you do for Saturday, and then you choose what you're doing the remainder of the week. I thought my turn was being skipped, and that the decision was being forced without me. And I was like, kind of freaking out. I was like, why is this happening? Is this a bug? And the game does like, no, that's supposed to happen. And I'm like, okay, all right, that makes more sense now that I know that. I don't think anything in the game specifically draws your attention to that, but that is why that was happening. Second, I don't think this is where the old save file actually ended, so I might be behind a little. That being said, I don't remember having 0 courage. I'm pretty sure I worked on courage at least like a tiny bit. So, we're going to focus on training, and I think, yeah, exploring the city. So that was my Saturday choice. And now we have wrapped around to Sunday, so now we need to decide what we're going to do for the rest of the week. We're going to take it easy this week, because our HP is actually really slow. Low. I did ask them for an English UI, because I cannot read the day or time counter there in the bottom. They kind of gave me a we'll see what we can do kind of answer, because this is supposed to be a throwback to PC98 games, as Utaku and I speculated in the body of that video. Let's try art. Empathy. Yeah, like I have really high charisma and everything else is really low. Are you sure this is the right save file? It is my only save file. That is very interesting. This is definitely not where we were when I ended the video. Just trips over himself, of course. Let's see here. We only got 5 minutes left. What a way to stall for time. Think. Does anyone know where Jotunheim gets its name? I'll give you extra credit if you get it right. It's from Norse mythology. It's Jotunheim. That's right. Feel a bit more charismatic now. Jotunheim gets its name from Jotunheimer. Jotunheimer itself is a portmanteau of the word Jotun, which is a mythical being akin to the gods, but not quite a god, and Heim, which comes from land or realm. The Jotun were the frost giants. They were giants made up of ice. English Jotun is treated as giant, even though there's no mention of Jotun being particularly large. That's because Norse mythology is a little bit jacked up. It's kind of hard to tell what's original and what isn't. A lot of records were destroyed. It's a long thing. A more accurate translation would be troll. If you're asking, this place should have been called Niflheim after Niflheim, the place where the frost giants live in Norse mythology. I think we're confusing our terms here. Because you're wondering why Jotun got translated to giant? I don't know. Etymology and history are just big games of telephone at the end of the day. Ain't that the truth? Truth gives a story to whom when nobody tries to lie. Sometimes things change so much over time that they become devoid of all their original meaning or context. There's a lot of instances of that. Ding dong. Thank God. Alright, have fun, kids. Teacher books it. Well, maybe we should go. Oh, Maya's available. Let's go see our favorite layer. Favorite lady. Like I confused lady and Maya there for a second. Scent of Maya's cooking fills my room. Savory yet sweet. When I close my eyes, I feel like I'm back at my parents' house. Should I have dinner at Maya's tonight? Why did I even bother asking such a question? Of course I'm going to have dinner with them tonight. I shower, I get dressed, and over to Maya's. Wow, I never really got a good look at her door up close until this point. That should be 2 different words. I feel like it's a giant alien monolith in a door. If the monolith of wood before me also feels and looks cozy. Front porch also smells faintly of lavender. Just standing here is starting to lull me to sleep. I need to find the doorbell before I knock out. That isn't a problem. Maya would not have a way to install doorbells at several different heights beside her door, which should kind of be mandatory in this world, right? It's a great accessibility option for the vertically challenged like myself. I'm only like a foot long. What do you want from me, man? I ring the doorbell and the door creaks open immediately. Titanic rotund shadow stands in the doorway and looms over me. She's just standing there, menacingly. Yes, you SpongeBob memed. Very good. Why is it so exciting? Maya bends down in front of me and hugs me tight against her cheek. Malia, welcome to Casa de Maya. So glad you could make it. Cheek's soft. Alright, calm down. We're in the first 10 minutes of the video and YouTube still scans that. I can feel my bones creak from the sheer force of her embrace. Thank you. I pat her cheek. What's on the menu? Glad you asked. Maya enters her home with me clutched to her cheek, locks the door behind her, and enters the kitchen. For us is a massive cauldron full of a dark red liquid in meaty chunks. Sounds like stew's on. Fumes rise from my nose and make a shiver run down my spine. It's meat sauce, smells like the one Mom used to make. Ooh, it's not stew, it is possibly a pasta. Spicy Italian sausage, ground beef, I never was sure how to say that word, arrabbiata, sauce with just a hint of basil. Sin alone from that my youth. Right beside it is a pot full of steamy spaghetti noodles. Yes, we're doing spaghetti! Hope she made lots of spaghetti! The noodles are so large and numerous, you could fill several swimming pools with them and still have some left over. Also, I just noticed the clock here on the wall. It's being reflected in the mirror over the fireplace, but it's not reflected the right way. Just so the game devs are aware. It's not all either. No. There's also freshly baked breadsticks sitting on the countertop. They're glistening with garlic. This is making me hungry. Some of them are giant, some of them are normal sized. It's incredible. Thank you, Maya. Don't thank me till you try it. Maya spends the next minutes setting up the table and dumping massive amounts of spaghetti and sauce onto our plates. There's more sauce than spaghetti on our plates. Not that I'm complaining, mind you. You should saturate the noodles. That's the point. That's why you put the sauce on there. You put all of it on there so that you can, like, smother the noodles. That's the point. I love sauce. I wish to become lost in it. Bon appetit. Bon appetit. Take a bite out of my giant spaghetti noodle. Then another. Then another. Then another. Start cramming more and more spaghetti and sauce into my mouth. I take it you like it. It's perfect. Beyond perfect. I eat so fast I start choking. I'm flattered, but please slow down. Maya pours me and her tall glasses of dark red wine. I hate red wine. Beggars can't be choosers. Steel myself, put the wine glass on my lips, and wow, it's delicious. Normally, red wine tastes far too strong for me. I am not a drinker. Everything tastes like really bitter when it comes to alcohol, so I'm not really the biggest fan. The only thing I ever tried that I liked was Ditaku had me try a hard orange soda. And I drank it, and I was like, it just tastes like orange soda. But then I was like, if I was going to do this anyway, I would just get orange soda. Maybe it's synergizing well with all the tomato sauce. Maybe it's because it's keeping me from choking. Regardless, its sweetness contrasts wonderfully with the savoriness of the sauce. After downing half of my glass of wine, I finally washed everything down, composed myself, and wiped my mouth with a napkin. Pardon me, I must have been hungrier than I realized. Maya just giggles. Don't worry about it. I'm glad you like it. Maya takes a sip of wine. She smiles for taking another hearty swig of wine. It's incredible. It tastes just like how my mom used to make it. Thank you, darling. What did you put in this wine, by the way? What do you mean? Maya tenses up a little bit. It tastes so sweet, and red wine usually tastes bitter to me. Maya relaxes and giggles. How about it? Let's mix some sugar in. Oh, thank you. Don't mention it, just being a good host. Takes another swig of her wine. How's your little love quest going? Got a girlfriend yet? Working on it? Oh, come on, how do you not? I thought you liked giant women. Good things take time, alright? Maya just chuckles. Can't argue with that. What about you? Have you started a new love quest? Maya's smile fades. No. Why not? It wouldn't be fair. Still not quite over him. Maya glances down at the ring on her finger. Even now she still has a golden band around it. Looks meticulously maintained. Even though through the dim lighting I can see its brilliant shine. That's fair. Getting over someone's hard. I take another sip of wine. It almost tastes like grape juice, but the bottle says it's 20% alcohol. So how much sugar did she put into this? Maya's frown curls into a smug grin. How do you know that? I had an ex or two. Oh, do tell. Not drunk enough for that. Maya fully refills my glass with a single drop from her bottle. Come on, let me hear your love story. Take a deep swig of wine. Are you sure you want to hear it? Absolutely. Told you about my love disaster, only fair you tell me yours. Can't argue with that. Take another swig of wine, let me sit in my mouth for a little before swallowing it. Alrighty, where should I start? At the beginning? You insist. I was born on a crisp November evening. Maya snorts. Not at that beginning. Very well. Just our sophomore year in high school. I was born in May, actually. I had a friend, let's call her A-chan. A-chan invited me and a bunch of her other friends over to her house for a birthday party. Pretty normal, but fun party. Pizza, soda, video games everywhere, standard stuff. Everyone else had to leave the party because they didn't finish their summer homework yet. Me and her did, though, so I got to stay longer. So her and I are the only ones left in their house. Maya refills her glass. Go on. So then she says she has to go to the bathroom real quick. And when she comes back, she sits on my lap, wraps her arms around my neck, and presses her forehead against mine. Ooh, caliente. And then she starts kissing me. I thought I was dreaming. Did you drop any hints that she liked you before this? Looking back, yeah. She was resting her head on my shoulder all throughout the party and resting the back of her hand against mine. Classic. Maya and I take a sip at the same time. Were you surprised? Oh, yeah. Hell, I almost threw her off me. Oh, really? Was she ugly? No. She was a cutie. It was just so sudden. What did you do? Just kind of stopped thinking? I hugged her and started kissing back. Did you like her at the time? I did, but I didn't know at the time. What happened next? We met on the couch for a while and she confessed that she really, really liked me and wanted to be my girlfriend. I said yes without thinking. Yeah. Maya pinches the bridge of her nose. You fell for the oldest trick in the book. Is that something girls normally do? Absolutely. Guys will give you anything if you give them. What is with the visual novels I've been playing recently in that word? You know this because may have done it a few times in high school. Oh, she has the kitty grin. That's dangerous. Heck, it's how I met my ex-husband. You are a very dangerous woman, and don't you forget it. My husband responded with a smug grin. What'd you say to her? I said, yes, of course. I wasn't about to reject the woman that gave me my first kiss. Ah. We started dating, holding hands, doing smooches between class. She even made bento boxes for me. Everything was going pretty decently until B-chan entered the story. Maya winces. No, not B-chan. I love that face. So, yeah, B-chan was a friend I had since freshman year. Compared to A-chan, she was much more quiet and reserved. We also knew each other for longer and had more stuff in common. I don't like where this is going. Maya says that with a sinister smile. 2 months pass and I'm at B-chan's birthday party. Like A-chan's party, everything's pretty normal. Until everyone else leaves. I sigh. B-chan looks really sad and shy, and I ask her what's wrong. And she says she wants a birthday kiss. No. Maya starts laughing. I gave her one, and then another one, and then another one, and then another one. That's all it took for you to cheat on A-chan. I was a dumb, horny 15-year-old surrounded by a bunch of dumb other 15-year-olds. Maya and I take another swig of wine. That doesn't excuse it. Oh, absolutely. I'm not making excuses. Hell, if I could go back in time and stop myself from doing that, I would. Good. Anyway, we made out, and it was pretty nice, but boy, I felt bad after the rush wore off. I couldn't sleep that night, and neither could she. We both knew how badly we messed up. At least you knew. Maya takes another sip of wine. You were happy with A-chan, right? I was. Mostly. She was really clingy. Like, she would cry if I didn't text her good morning, or if I only gave her 2 goodbye kisses instead of 3. Maya winces. I assume B-chan didn't do that. Correct. B-chan didn't do that, but B-chan also barely texted anyone. Was A-chan clingy in other ways? Maya puts the wine glass to her lips. She said, imagine us growing old together. Maya leans forward and almost spits wine out. Oh, no. Maya resumes laughing. What did you say to that? I said I felt like we were moving a little too fast. We had only been dating 2 weeks at that point. Surprisingly mature answer for a high schooler. How'd you take it? She threatened to kill herself at school the next day. I took down the rest of my wine. Maya nods and refills my glass. And that happened before you cheated on her. Yep. Maya refills her own glass, puts the bottle back down. I understand why you cheated. I don't condone it, but I get it. Thanks. I take another swig of wine. Although, I'm willing to bet there's another reason why. What is with that face? What's that? B-chan? Wow. How do I put this? First make my chair stop squeaking, for the love. I get the feeling that Maya might know me better than I care to admit. I take another sip of wine to put something between my eyes and her. How did you know? Maya proudly grabs her breast. I used to go through a lot of dumb shit to touch big boobs. Amen to that. I take another sip of wine. This wine tastes better with every sip. Starting to feel lighter and I can't stop smiling. I take it you know this from personal experience. Oh yeah, I went to flat to this over 1 semester. 1 semester? My head giggles and takes another sip of wine while squeezing it. Boys got into fights trying to impress me while girls kept accusing me of trying to steal their boyfriends. I'm so sorry. Don't worry about it. My head keeps rubbing. These girls helped me meet my husband, so I'm grateful for them. I'm grateful for them too. Why did I say that? Thank you. My giggles keeping her eyes locked on me. Go on, booby boy. Takes another swig. What happened next? I shoveled down more pasta. Let's see. After a very long and very confusing weekend, I came to the conclusion that I like B-chan more and decided to break up with A-chan next Monday. Did you do it via phone or in person? In person, of course. Good boy. Takes another sip of wine. Continue. Maya's starting to sway a little bit. She hasn't stopped smiling for the past few minutes either. Must have consumed several swimming pools with the wine by this point. Not that I can judge. Give me a minute. I take another hearty swig. Hee. I rest my forehead against the table. Why are you laughing? Because I'm a happy little drunk. That's good. The world needs more happy drunks. I hit my head and lick some of the sauce off my plate. Yepperoni, what kind of drunk are you? Horny drunk. I just want to hug and praise pretty girls. Maya smirks and refills my glass. Well, go on. What should I praise? You know, I have to do it. At this point, the general flow of conversation and the fact that Maya seems completely and absolutely shameless, I feel like if I offer either of the 2 other options, she's going to call me a liar. So we're just going to go for it. This might be risky, but screw it. I'm too drunk. Maya, forgive me. Oh, this ought to be good. Those are incredible. Every time I see that, I just want to bury myself in them. Maya's eyes narrow, but her smile widens. Aw, thank you. Maya proudly pats her bust. They're nothing special. What? She's the biggest girl in this game! She eclipses all the others, maybe combined. Giant boobs are to be celebrated. I reach up to try and grow her, but I'm nowhere near big enough to reach. They give you such grand presence, like some kind of fertility goddess. She's flushed pink and she starts laughing. Goddess? Come on, I'm just a chubby old lady. No. Your form is perfect. Wide hips and such an adorable little belly. You're perfect. Perfect for breeding. Good lord, Protag. Now, yeah, there comes a line where you need to get a grip. The fat to survive the harshest winter's hips wide enough to bear an entire nation. So soft that turtleneck only makes you look softer. Every time I see you, I just want to squeeze you. Milk? Whoa! Bro! Look, YouTube stops caring after the first 10 minutes, but I'm just like, okay, wow, good lord. I'm starting to wonder why I'm getting a reputation in the comments for being a little less than say-so. Maya just giggles. Thank you, little one, you're very cute, but I'm not drunk enough for that. Maya downs her glass and promptly refills it. Sorry if I was too forward. I take a swig of wine and try to ease the cringe. It's nice being desired at my age. Maya seems really happy about this. I feel closer to her now. So back upright and resume scarfing pasta. I always get super hungry when drunk. I feel like I'm forgetting something. Look at Maya with cheeks full of noodles and sauce. Maya, what were we talking about? We're talking about breaking up with A-chan until you got super horny and started praising me. Right. Watch down my pasta with more wine and look up at Maya. So anyway, Maya's locked onto Maya's chest. They are big. Stupidly big. I swear they have their own gravitational pull. Feels like I'm gonna rise up and start orbiting them at any second. Hello, Earth Denalia. Maya starts waving her finger in front of me. Sorry, distracted me. You're such a dork. Maya giggles and takes a sip of wine. No wonder you don't have a girlfriend. I'm only this horny when drunk. Maybe that's the problem. What do you mean? You're not horny enough. What? Back in my day, men were rewarded for being sexually aggressive. Well, not in the modern day, Maya. Let me tell you. How old are you? They sneak kisses in, grab your ass, and ask you on a date the first time they saw you. And we liked it that way. My generation massive fams got laid so much thanks to that. Feels so bad for you youngsters. Maya shakes her head. Because like everyone in your generation is such a prude. Uh-huh. What advice would you give me? Alright, so. Maya leans in close to me. Tip number one for getting a girlfriend. Be assertive. I have opinions on this. I'm just saying. Maya, assertive men only win when they aren't like me, which is to say ugly and broke. So that works for like a certain section of the population, but not the others. How assertive are we talking? I'm like being told what to do. We're 20 minutes in. According to my analytics, people have stopped watching by now. Oh yeah, here we go. Don't ask her if she wants to go out. Tell her that you two have a date at a certain place, a certain time, and you're excited to see her there. Could be a movie, could be dinner, could be anything. It's a good idea to get a little boozed up, too. That seems like a terrible idea. Helps put her and you at ease. Be a gentleman, make sure to hold her tight. Not too tight, though. Firm, not forceful. Ideally by the neck or thigh. Chicks dig that. Are you sure that would work? Maya nods proudly. Absolutely. It's how I met my hubby. I feel you might be an outlier on this. Good, now, yeah, you have a little bit of survival instinct. Maya puffs out her chest with her hands on her hips. Exception that proves the rule. Maya puffing out the chest makes it look like they just multiplied in size. Turtleneck rides up and exposes more of the pudgy midriff, and her breasts bounce a little from the motion. You know, I said it in the first episode, I'll say it again. You know, the midriff needs to return. Damn, dude, like, calm down. With all due respect, I think that would get me arrested. Really? Jeez, regeneration really is doomed. Maya slouches again and resumes laughing. What were we talking about again? B-chan, I think. Right, B for booby. So I break up with A-chan and start dating B-chan. Things were going pretty decently. I enjoyed being with B-chan, but A-chan was still texting me and B-chan regularly. This story's only going to get worse, isn't it? Much worse. Only 2 weeks later, B-chan starts ignoring me altogether. No text, no hugs. She wouldn't even talk or look at me when we hung out with mutual friends. Weird. Maybe she's feeling guilty about being a homewrecker? I thought the same thing too, so I asked her through another mutual friend. She kept saying she wasn't ignoring me because of the cheating thing. So she didn't feel bad about being a homewrecker. Apparently not. Maya giggles. Oh god, that's somehow worse. Yeah, so I break up with B-chan because it's very hard to date someone who won't look or speak to you. Did anyone figure out why she stopped talking to you? No one knows, but I have a theory. Do tell. This is cutting ahead a little, but we somehow remained friends all throughout high school. Maya snickers. A girl could stab you and you'd apologize to her if she had big boobs. Yeah, probably. I take another sip of wine. The room starts to teeter a little, but in a good way, almost like it's rocking me to sleep. So she starts getting really aggressive during senior year and starts yelling at me for no reason a bunch of times. So much that our other friends actually intervened and told her to knock it off. We're running a bit off the text panel here. That's sweet of them. Yeah, so she apologizes a month later, and she says she was yelling a lot because I reminded her of her dad. Maya leans back and winces. Her face shrivels up as she just ate 5 lemons and her body looks like it's trying to recede into itself. Oh no, there's no fixing that. What'd you do after breaking up with V-chan? Did you get back together with A-chan? Kinda? What do you mean, kinda? We had a weird on-again, off-again thing going on for like 2 years. I apologized profusely several times, and A-chan insisted it was alright. But she still acted upset and would get jealous if I talked to other girls. Would she do that when you weren't dating? Yeah, but again, it was weird. We'd chat every single day and have phone calls late into the evening. She'd sit next to me and hug me every chance we got. We were together in everything but name. But she still insisted we weren't together. Maybe she still really wanted you, was afraid you'd betray her again. Probably, and I get that. But if that's the case, why would she go through 4 other boyfriends in the second half of high school? Maya rubs her temple. Geez, maybe she wanted to get back at you? Maybe, but there's better ways. She did more damage to herself than she did to me. She started drinking heavily and calling me incoherently every other night to complain about her current boyfriend. Oh, honey, no. No, her boyfriends after me were dicks. Except for one. I feel really bad for the one good one. What was the deal with the good one? He was a good friend of hers all the way back in middle school. He always liked her too, but she never reciprocated. Even when they were together, she would just text me to complain about him. Alright, any sympathy I had for A-chan is gone. I would have cheated on her too, damn. Yeah, and despite everything, I still miss her sometimes. I even still have the keychain she got me during one of our field trips. I get it. Maya's eyes gaze down at her ring finger. There's always one thing we can't let go of, no matter how hard we try. Yeah. Maya and I spend the next few minutes just finishing our meals in silence. Some of the breadsticks are still warm. Fluffy and salty, too. Tastes perfect when I dunk it in the sauce, too. After finishing, I lean back with my hands on my stomach. Someone looks happy. You have no idea. I'd marry you just to eat this every day. Giggles again. Her face is glowing from all the wine. Slow down there, Junior. You don't gotta do that. You're welcome over for dinner anytime. I'll take you up on that. Starting to feel sleepy. You don't see me any differently knowing I cheated, do you? What? No. Maya's swaying side to side. Her eyes are also half open. She was ready to pass out at any moment. Everyone does dumb crap in high school. It doesn't make you a bad person. Cheating with your girlfriend of 1 month in high school is different from cheating on your wife of 10 years. True, but still, I can't help but feel bad about it. Maya gently pats me with her pinky. Feeling guilty means you're a good person. There's a lot of people out there that don't feel remorse at all. That being said, don't beat yourself over it too much. Maya yawns. You're a good man, polite, cute. You'll get a girlfriend real soon, I can feel it. Thank you, Maya. Maya nods. Feel better? A lot, actually. It's the first time I've ever told anyone that story. I'm always here to listen. I love a good tale. Likewise, alright? I'm here for you. Thanks. Maya yawns again. What happened to A-chan and B-chan anyway? Do you still talk to them? Nope, they both blocked me out of nowhere. A-chan became a hardcore communist, and B-chan might be dead. I'm sorry. Don't be. I'm better off without them. Maya narrows her eyes at me. You still want to see them, don't you? A little, yeah. What would you say to them? I think and think, but nothing comes up. I don't know. If I saw either of them again, I don't know what I'd do or what I'd say. I might yell at them. I might hug them. Probably both, though. Yeah, both makes the most sense. Sometimes I wish I could just forget about them altogether. Maya smirks. I got a magic spell that can make you forget about any woman. What may that be? If you want to know, you gotta close your eyes. This should be good. I close my eyes immediately. Alright, now what? You need to say, puff, puff. Oh. I have played Dragon Quest games. I know where this is going. Puff, puff. No, put some gusto into it, like puff, puff. Puff, puff. Something slams me down and pins me to the table. Something big. It's big and soft, coated in my soft turtleneck. I'm completely enveloped by her size, scent, and softness. I can barely move, let alone think. Maya slowly grinds her boob against me. Puff, 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 puff. Get happy, get happy, get happy. Maya continues laughing. Her breast continues to press and rub against me. Every squeeze buries me deeper and deeper into her bosom. So warm, so nice, but so heavy. But I love it. No matter how far I spread my arms or legs, I can't reach the end of her bosom. It makes her feel so much bigger. I can even feel her nipple poking me through the sweater's back. Bro, calm down. It's bigger than my head. It feels erect. Will I always go braless, or did she just go braless for tonight? Not sure what's more exciting. Now, yeah, did you forget about A-chan and B-chan yet? Maya's face slows, but it remains as powerful as ever. It's a damn miracle. Am I going to be allowed to post this episode? I open my mouth to speak, but any sound I make is muffled by Maya's titanic tit. Body starts moving on its own. Devil starts... Bro. Oh. Maya yawns again. You're a feisty one. Maya stops moving. My body is ravaging her boob. Maya? I start pushing my arms and legs only to sink elbow and knee deep into her boob. Maya, can you let me out? Maya's fast asleep. Remains erect and firmly pressed against me. I can't leave until she wakes up, but that doesn't sound... How are you breathing right now? My belly full of pasta and wine and absolutely submerged in titty. Close my eyes and slowly drift off to sleep. Something comforting about sleeping under a giant boob? Feels nostalgic. Can't put my finger on why. I think Maya's question about the relationship with your mother is pretty valid there now, yeah. Certainly get used to this, though. Alright, that was... really aggressively suggestive. I've really burned down my my health, so... Who are those? Oh, it's my parents. Hi, Naoya. How's college life so far? I don't know how to answer that. She's like high school, but bigger? I was expecting it to be some life-changing event. I was doing wild parties and wacky shenanigans. You know, like in the movies. But I feel the exact same, despite being in a giant city. I don't know if that says more about college, the city, or me. Probably me. It's going pretty good so far. That's a relief. How are your roommates? I don't have roommates, actually. You don't? You're so lucky. I would have committed felonies to not have roommates. How'd you manage that? Honestly, I just got lucky. I found this nice landlady who gave me a pretty decent apartment for a good deal. How decent are we talking? 1 LDK, that's, I think, just under 30 square meters? For how much? 30,000 yen, that's a little under $300? Someone die in that apartment? My eyes widen, and the hair on the back of my neck stands on end. Now that she mentions it, I guess my apartment was just a bit too good to be true. I don't think so? If it was, surely we should have disclosed that to me. Actually, I don't know if this actually is in Japan or not. In America, you have to disclose that information. If someone died, or if they like moved to Brazil while living in that house, they are obligated by law to disclose that for a lot of different reasons. There are religious prohibitions, and also people sometimes just have a philosophical bent against it. That being said, I know that in certain other countries, that's not necessarily the case. There was actually a story bit about that in, I want to say, Digimon Hacker's Memory, where they were talking about house laundering by having someone live there for a short time and then, like, sell it without having to elaborate on the full details of the house. Honestly, it's probably just because Maya's a super nice person and clearly has some affection for Naoya. Or that's my theory, because, like, let's be honest, what Maya just got done doing with us is that's not friendship behavior, okay? That is, she has a thing for him and she's in denial about it kind of thing. Are you sure about that? No. He knows what he's spooky. Okay, game devs, I'm gonna throw a fastball. Why not add a ghost girl? Add a giant ghost girl who used to live in these apartments. How about that? Nope, everything's quiet and normal. Not a poltergeist to be found. It isn't haunted, nobody died, there's only one remaining option. Landlady must have the hots for you! Ah! I called it! I don't think that's the case. Why not? You're handsome and a gentleman. Not really. My face grows warm. I know she's basically obligated to say that, but still, it feels nice. Be a compliment, I feel a little more charismatic. Just be careful if she asks you to come over. Don't believe her if she says she needs her pipes cleaned. That's her duty as the landlady, not yours. I know your rights. I will, Mom. Thank you. Mom continues bombarding me with questions about mundane detail, and I can answer almost none of them. I really should start paying more attention to my surroundings. That's all I got for the day. Thanks for calling. It's always good to hear from you. No problem. Keep me updated. I want to know what life is like on Giant Lady Island. Bye-bye. Mom hangs up in a hurry. I'll have to call her again. I just feel better after calling her. Oh, good. I actually recovered a little bit of my stamina. Why is my charisma, like, so much higher? I don't remember, like, my stats being this weird and imbalanced. We really got to get our energy back up. I hate sleeping away so much time. All right, class, settle down, listen up, because this is important. You might have seen some signs around town saying Class 2 and below or Class 4 ward. Does anyone know what those mean? I look around the classroom, nobody's raising their hand. Come on, I see a couple Class 2s and 3s right now. Oh, that's the type of giant they are. We talked about that really briefly in the prologue. Come on, everyone, where's your natural curiosity? Professor rubs her temple in size. Classes are reclassified giants into different groups. Not all giants are the same size. They all have different needs, different clothes, and different infrastructure to live comfortably. If you're under 6 meters tall, you are legally not classified as... So if you're under 30 feet... I'm rounding my numbers really badly here, but, like, that's a really high threshold to set giant at. If you're 6 to 15 meters, you're a Class 1. If you're 16 to 30, Class 2. 31 to 44 is Class 3. And Class 4 is 44 to 55 meters. Class 5 is 56 and above. In case you're wondering why it's 56 and above, it's because giants that large are quite uncommon, being less than 1% of the population. I want you to stop and ponder that for a minute. There are, I believe, 7 billion humans on Earth. So if 1% of 7 billion were giants, that would still be a lot. Like, we would have the what is it? The shaking, the rumbling. We would have the rumbling from Attack on Titan just by de facto, like by virtue of their existence, basically. There hasn't been a single instance of a giant being above 60 meters. Anyway, that could change. Some of my cohorts think the average giant height will only continue to increase. There's not enough data to confirm or deny that just yet. Actually, no. It would plateau, and it would plateau really, really hard. And this is because physics is a thing that continues to exist. First, there's the square-cube law. If you square something's size, you cube its mass. And if you make something larger, it has to be able to take in more oxygen. But the proportion of oxygen needed for a certain sized animal scales faster than the size of the body of the animal. That's why things have kind of a hard size limit because of Earth's gravity and atmosphere. Out of all the classes, class 2 is the most common at 35% of the population of Jotun shape. This is followed by Class 1 at 21%, Class 3 at 18%, Class 4 at 15%, and everyone under 6 meters at 10%. So, like, more of the world is giant than isn't. So, like, that does kind of explain, like, our position as a normie. If you're Class 2 and feeling a little small, don't be. You're average. Let's see if anyone's paying attention. Teacher's eyes lock onto me. Jacket-kun. The minimum height requirement legally considered a giant is 6 meters. That's right. You feel a bit more intelligent now. In case you're wondering why the cutoff point is 6 meters, I don't know. Cutoff point's got to be somewhere. Personally, I think 5 meters is sufficiently big, but that's just me. Ring, ring. Good talk. Have fun this weekend. Wish me luck. Got a hot date tonight. Is it another anime waifu? Just asking. Ifumi and I just finished taking our last final for the semester. My brain hurts, but I think I did okay. That could be wishful thinking. How do you think you did? Totes crushed it. What'd you get for 4P? Ovipositor. What do you mean that kaiju had an ovipositor? Ifumi shrugs. Should have paid more attention. I wanted to, but I can't stand watching those dissection videos. You're always pretty squeamish. Maybe you're crying like a baby when I dissected that fish in 5th grade. Why did you bring that up? Yes, it's funny. At least I didn't eat the thing like you. You saw that? How could I not? You one-handed your jaw like a snake. I'm a woman of many talents. No wonder you're so popular with the boys. Come again? That's what she said. Nothing, nothing. And that's the last test turned in. Good job, everybody. Wish you all the best for summer. If you're a Jotun student ambassador, please stay here. The rest of you can go. A bunch of students get up and start leaving the classroom. I get up as well, only for Fumi to pick me up and seat me on her lap. My legs are resting against her thighs as her boobs rest atop the top of my head. Hold on there, partner. Where do you think you're going? Home? I'm not a student ambassador. Yes, you are. You signed me up, didn't you? Yeah. I grumble. Come on, it'll be fun. I grumble louder. Don't be like that. Teacher looks at me. We only need you for a weekend. Really? What do you need me for? You and the rest of the student ambassadors are heading to Tokyo for the first Jotun convention. Convention? What do we need a convention for? I'm glad you asked. Room goes a little dim as the screen behind the teacher lights up. The screen lights up with a map of Tokyo and a picture of the Tokyo Big Sight. Yo, Big Sight! Teacher chuckles at Fumi. Yes, indeed. I'm glad you're excited. He turns back to me. The whole world has their eyes on Jotun, some from admiration, some from fear. Oh, why are they afraid of us? We have a bunch of giant women walking around the level cities in an afternoon without conventional weaponry. In retrospect, that was a stupid question. I apologize. Don't worry about it. I think the Silicon Convention is a diplomatic mission, an opportunity to show the world that we're not scary. I see, that makes sense. Why have it in Tokyo? Isn't Japan already overwhelmingly pro-giant? I could see that, actually. Japan's only one of 2 countries currently with facilities that can house giants. That checks out. We're not allowed in several countries that would be under constant surveillance of plenty of others. Remember, not everyone moves here by choice. Many have nowhere else to go. So what's the other country? The teacher continues her lecture. That being said, the convention is far from just a diplomatic visit. We're also trying to convince talented giants and tinies to relocate here. How do we do that? You show off our cool tech, our stunning city, our beautiful culture, and our maid cafe. You're hosting a maid cafe. We're hosting a maid cafe. I start to picture Ifumi in a maid costume, trying to stop myself from smiling. Yeah, that would certainly convince me to relocate. Glad to hear it. Ifumi raises her hand. Wait, Teach, how are we getting to Tokyo? You'll let me transport via aircraft carrier. The journey should take about 24... So we're not in Japan. Like, so where are we? Why would I be paying in yen if I didn't live in Japan? I have so many questions. What's the other country that has the infrastructure for giants? Is it America? That would make sense. We have the resources and the real estate for it. I mean, just like... I have so many questions about the world building. I'm sorry, like, this is... I'm sorry for everyone watching at home for the break check here, going from flirting with my landlady, who's being weirdly provocative, to suddenly having all these, like, questions about logistics and infrastructure and politics. But here we are! Welcome to Big Beautiful Women! The most important thing on my mind right now is not the girl in the cheerleader uniform, but the politics and the logistics. Nice, always wanted to ride one of those. When do we depart? 1 hour, pack your bags, report to the North Harbor by then. 1 hour? I can't make it to my house in the harbor that fast. Fumi pats my head with her boobs. Don't be upset, I'll carry you. Thank you. Teacher goes over the more boring and mundane parts of the trip before dismissing us. Hifumi and I pack our things, head to the harbor, and board an aircraft carrier. Teacher... This reminds me of a angry video game nerd doing Top Gun. Teacher takes a roll, and we embark soon after. Thankfully, I don't get seasick. The rocking the ocean is nice, actually. Thanks to the size of the vessel and pleasant weather, there's barely any rocking. The ocean breeze is nice, too. A little salty, but super fresh otherwise. I don't know why, but I always feel at peace at the sea. Maybe it's the side of the water? Maybe it's the invertebrate part of my brain remembering our ancestors' common home? Everything came from the sea. I mean, probably, but everything will eventually return to the sea. Hopefully not. The sea is where all the scary stuff lives. To me, the ocean is as beautiful, mysterious, and menacing as the cosmos above. The solar system's worth of intrigue, danger, and life lies just beneath my feet. Sure, planes are faster and cheaper, but I feel like humanity lost something with the invention of air travel. Less adventurous, less romantic. I get what you're saying, but I kind of disagree philosophically. I feel a connection to my ancestors when I sail the seven seas. Maybe they were sailors, or maybe even pirates. Hope they were pirates. That'd be cool. Whoa! Ifumi rushes over to one of the aircraft on deck and starts geeking out. Never took her for a weapon, otaku. Maybe she really got into weapons during high school. I look around the carrier deck and see a distinct lack of aircraft. There's only 2 jets. I assume the rest are below deck, but maybe not. Giants do take up a lot of space, after all. Probably had to move them to a different vessel to make room for all of us. I walk over to Hifumi and see Fuko geeking over the same jet with her. Is this that jet? Fuko nods furiously. Indeed, it is the jet featured in my giant Busty Senpai 3. I'm glad these two are friends. Something about that makes me just really happy. I knew it! Ifumi pulls out her phone and starts posing next to the jet. Hey, Fufu, come here. Gotta get a pic. Why do you want me in your photo? Why wouldn't I? We're friends, ain't we? I suppose we are. Fuko starts giggling under her breath and starts inching next to Hifumi. Say cheese! Cheems! Hifumi strikes a cute pose. Fuko strikes a pose. I didn't even know the human body could contort like that. She's flexible for a big girl? I don't know. Like an alien trying to masquerade as a human without knowing what humans are. She's sweating buckets. Aw, thank you, Fufu. That's fix-adorable. Glad you enjoy my visage. Fuko looks happy, but also looks like she wants to melt. Fuko, I didn't know you were a student ambassador. I'm not. I'm actually a stowaway. But why would you sneak into an obligation? A true otaku would take any opportunity to visit the hallowed ground. Okay, you know what? I should have seen that coming. That's on me. Hallowed ground. You mean the big site? Fuko nods fervently. It's like Mecca, but for gamers. How did you even sneak on? You can sneak in anywhere if you act like you're supposed to be there. I have a hard time arguing that, actually. Huh. I glance up at Hifumi's underboob. Need help with something? Nope, nothing at all. Yu stumbles onto the scene looking very, very tired. There you are. Yu sighs before patting Fuko on the head. I take my eyes off you for 2 seconds and you disappear on me. Hey, Yu, what are you doing here? Yu smiles down at me. She looks much more relaxed now. Nigiri Ramen is proud to announce a partnership with Yotenshi. We'll be delivering our delicious noodles to our lovely Yotencon guests. Ooh, nice. That should get you some good business. Damn right. Before you know it, the whole world will be craving my noodles. Something approaches me from behind. Something big. I turn around and see Jun smirking down at me. Hey, Pipsqueak, fancy meeting you here. I haven't talked to a lot of these girls since the game began. I feel a little bad. Ginny, I didn't know you were an ambassador. Of course I am. Telling us all over the world you know how strong giants are. Jun punches her fists together, creating a shockwave that almost blows me off my feet. They could also use more muscle for the KDF. It's kind of weird seeing all of them together like this. Not complaining though, they all seem to be getting along just fine. Still, group feels incomplete without Maya. Stare out into the ocean, waiting for her to rise out of the water's surface at any moment, but she never comes. Ah well, I should get her a souvenir while I'm gone. The 5 of us chat for a while before dispersing. Ifumi's sitting on the edge of the carrier taking photos of the ocean. Fuko continues geeking out over the weapons on the main deck. Yu is sitting next to the island browsing her phone. Jun is doing some katas in the landing area. We got a few hours before dinner. I hear the carrier has an open bar for us. Before then, I got a few hours to kill. Who should I kill time with? You have taken away the one option I've been, doggedly trying to pursue. As said, I do feel a little bad. I've really only hung out with Maya and Fuko so far. I should probably be cool and give some of the other girls a chance. Let me save. You know what? I want to hang out with Hifumi. Hifumi's super nice, and I've kind of been neglecting her. That's not cool. I'll talk to Hifumi. Wander over to the edge of the carrier and sit next to Ifumi. Looks like she's recording some sort of vlog. Hey everyone, it's Jotun's #1 growing girl, Ifumi. She strikes an adorable pose, sticks her tongue out for the camera. Sailing towards Tokyo right now to attend a convention. If you want to meet me and hang out, be sure to head over to the big site this weekend. I can't wait to see all of you. She lifts her phone around to get a wide panning shot of the ocean. Can't tell you where I am right now exactly, but the ocean looks so pretty. Sure hope a giant squid doesn't attack me right now. Ifumi and I wait in silence for a few seconds. Ifumi looks genuinely disappointed. Ah, no squid this time. Damn, I was really in the mood for some takoyaki too. Ifumi pouts and puffs her cheeks. Suddenly her screen glows with various lights and notifications. Ah, thanks for all the donations, everyone. Ifumi proudly pats her chest. Everyone donated helps keep me fed and growing. She flexes her arms and sticks her tongue out. How tall am I now? I measured myself just last night. I'm 1,610 centimeters tall. Ifumi glances down at me. Looks like she just noticed I was there. Sorry everyone, get back online later. I sense a dangerous kaiju approaching. Ifumi shuts her phone off and stuffs it between her boobs. Sorry about that, Naoya. Didn't see you there. What's up? Nothing much. Just wanted to kill some time with you. What were you doing? Live streaming. You were getting reception in the middle of the Pacific? How? Just some more ambassador work for Jotun, trying to bring more attention to the convention. Think it'll work? Hope so. 10,000 people were watching just now. That's pretty impressive. How many donations did you get? Think 50,000 yen, so a little less than $500. From just a 2-minute live stream? Yep. Giants are super in right now. All I gotta do is make some vague comment getting bigger or eating, and the donations come pouring in. Ifumi, you are attracting a bad crowd. Like, I don't have much of a leg to stand on in the literal or figurative sense, but like, that's paraphilias. They don't like you for you, Ifumi. They like you because you're big. You need me to come back later then? Didn't mean to interrupt your stream. Nah, don't worry about it. Ifumi picks me up and seats me on her lap again. You take priority over any dumb stream. Ifumi hugs me close to her, looks out at the sea and takes a deep breath. Everything alright? Yeah, everything's a bit overwhelming sometimes. Not in a bad way, though. I just never thought I'd be riding on an aircraft carrier. Or helping host a convention. Or be 16 meters tall. Life just keeps changing so fast all the time. Sometimes it's a bit difficult to keep up. But I love it. I hope you get the staff more conventions. Me too. Is there anywhere you'd want to go in particular? Call me basic, but Korea sounds really fun. There's nothing basic about that at all. Korea's great, especially Busan. I've never been. I will have to take your word on that. What's so special about Busan? It has the best cafe food I've ever had. The French toast sandwiches and lattes are to die for. French toast sandwiches? Okay, you have my attention now. Now I want to know what's up. Korea also has really incredible Mexican food for some reason. Really? Is this... Okay, everyone, Korea bros, like, in the comments, is this true? I have to know. Ooh, that sounds awesome. How do you know so much about Korea? Have you been there? Nah, just all the girls in my high school were Korea boos. Learned a lot about Korea just sitting in class. That's so cool. What about you? Where would you want to go? I don't... Visiting any of these would be really cool. I'm gonna say Hawaii. Call me basic. I think I want to go to Hawaii. Nothing basic about that. Hawaii is awesome. It's like Okinawa, but with more hamburgers. What's not to love? Any reason why you want to go there in particular? I don't know, actually. Just sounds nice. Only problem is it's so far away. I wouldn't worry about that too much. Gaia's getting closer to Hawaii every day. Gaia? Plate tectonics? Is Gaia drifting? Is Gaia a continent? Ifumi shakes her head. Gaia's growing physically bigger little by little. The construction core keeps expanding to meet demand for all the giants moving in. So it's an artificial island. Was that established? I don't remember this. If I remember correctly, I think the southern tip of Jotun is now just juts into the EEZ of the Philippines. So like we're like on an artificial island somewhere in the North Pacific? Like I'm gonna have to look up a map on this to be like get an idea. But that's really interesting. I've actually been kind of curious about that for a while now. Filipinos aren't too happy about it. You can't build west without getting China upset. Jotun keeps building east instead now. In a few years, it might be possible to catch a train from Jotun to Hawaii. That'd be cool. Hawaii was further south than that. Do I suck at geography this bad? Gaia has to displace a ton of water, no? Where does all that go? Shouldn't coastlines be rising all over the world? Less than you might think. Should. Giants consume so much water, it balances out. Like, it's the same principle as to, like, you get a glass of water, you drop a bunch of ice into it, and even though the ice is displacing water and it's above the water line, when it melts, your water only rises a tiny little bit. It's less than you think. And also that would happen in very small increments. The coastlines change all the time because of water erosion, so it's probably not even noticeable. The desalination plant's really coming in clutch. Anyway, is there anything you want to do in Hawaii? Honestly, I just want to get drunk on the beach and watch some women dance in hula skirts and coconut. Bro! Bro, chill! God, you're such a boy! Can't blame you, though. Hula skirts and coconut bras are mad cute. You would need some... I don't know if coconuts would cut the mustard here. I think you would need watermelon. You should totally wear one. Please. Ruby presses her boobs against my head. It's not a coconut big enough to contain these puppies. At least she's self-aware. What if there was, though? I'll think about it. Hell yeah. If we may continue talking about potential vacation destinations for the next hour. Ring, ring. Fumi pulls out her phone and checks it. Shoot, I gotta take this. It's from Jotun Tourism Board. No worries, I'll go check out the rest of the carrier. Thanks for understanding. Bye-bye now, yeah. Fumi waves goodbye to you for answering her phone. Bye-bye. I wave goodbye to Fumi and wandered back to the center of the deck. Thinking about vacations lets me feel closer to Fumi and more charismatic. For some reason. Don't think about it too hard. Okay, that was nice. I think I got time for one more chat. Who should I spend the rest of the afternoon with? Okay, I'm going to get called out for doing this. Jun is cute, but I'm not sure how I feel about romancing the vitalist communist. And Yu is cute. Yu strikes me very much as the sisterly type, not a waifu. So, I'm gonna go bug Fuko. Hang out with Fuko. Look, she's having fun. I approach Fuko and she's still petting a jet like it's a dog. Who's a good little fighter jet? You are. Yes, you are. Hey, amigo. Hola, amigo. What brings you here? You just seem like you're having a bunch of fun. Want to see what the big deal was. The big deal, amigo, this is the biggest deal. I don't know, I think you might be the biggest deal on this aircraft carrier, Fuko. Fuko pats the wing of the jet. You're looking at an F-15 Eagle right here. The finest fighter jet the world has ever seen. F-15... Wait, doesn't the SDF use these? Fuko nods. Darn right, and they got good taste. These are using Sparrow, Sidewinder, or AMRAAMs missiles? I think is how you say that. Fuko points under the right wing. It's even got M61 Vulcan guns under the wings. It's about the best thing you could be in a dogfight. What about a kaiju fight? It can hold its own in there pretty well, too. Fuko gently spanks the butt of the plane. Slow wing loading lets it turn on a dime without losing speed. It can even climb to 30,000 feet in a minute. It can even fly with only one wing. It's the greatest fighter jet ever made. Why? Is there anything particularly special about it? I just think it looks really cool. I can't help but laugh. You're not wrong. It's a very nice looking plane. I had no idea you were a military otaku, too. How couldn't I be? Weapons are so cool. Doesn't matter what era, arrows, trebuchets, cannons, arquebuses, missiles. I love them all. Why? Such a fascinating design history behind every weapon. They're all made for a specific purpose at a specific time. Each and every weapon has a little story behind it. All their designs have a defined personality, too. But also explosions are neat. Can't argue with any of that. Do you think you could fight one of these? Pfft, hell no, they'll have to shred me into Swiss cheese. The landlady might be able to take a missile or two, though. Well, let's hope she never has to. What kind of carrier are we on, anyway? We're on the USS Gerald R. Ford Mark II. So we're on an American ship. That's interesting. Mark II. What happened to the first one? Nothing. Still alive and kicking. Probably just floating around the Pacific somewhere. Then why'd they make a second one? Container ships and aircraft carriers are the only boats big enough to carry giants. So ship companies have been scrambling to pump out bigger and bigger ships over the last few decades. Why use an aircraft carrier? Why not use a shipping vessel? Kaiju seem to attack more often during the... Kaiju are real? I thought we were joking! I thought we were power scaling from movies. I didn't know kaiju were real. Aircraft carriers need to travel with giants for some additional protection. Who's protecting who, though? Good question. Aircraft certainly had their benefit. Yet, there's some armor that only giants can crack. Plus, using giants to fight off kaiju typically results in less collateral damage. One method isn't necessarily better than the other, so a lot of kaiju defense teams use a combination of aircraft and ground forces. Makes sense. Fuko nods with a satisfied grin. Any idea why it's called the Gerald R. Ford? Bit of a weird name. Americans usually name their boats after important people or cities. A lot of the Nimitz-class carriers are named after presidents. Eisenhower, Roosevelt, Lincoln, Truman, Trump. Heck, even the Ronald Reagan Mark II is currently in port at Yokosuka. That's... I gotta give the devs points for, like, researching all this stuff. I don't know if you guys are just military nerds or if you thought this would be a cute thing to give to Fuko. I see. Gerald Ford was a president. So we're not American, but it doesn't seem like we're Japanese. Like, where is my character from? Given the name, I thought he was Japanese. 38th President of the United States, the only one never to be elected into office. How did that happen? Basically, the guy before him, Nixon, resigned before he could be removed from office. He got in trouble after discovery he did illegal surveillance on a rival political party. I wanted to say something really bad. Oh, wait, no one's watching. I can say this. Sitting presidents and politicians have done way more illegal things than Watergate. Watergate's entire, like, cultural relevance in history was the fact that it was a journalist doing their job, and now, like, politicians routinely do way more illegal crap than Watergate ever amounted to, like, every single month. But no one does anything, no one gets in trouble, no one ever gets taken to court. I'm not a big fan of the government, in case I haven't made that clear. Ford just happened to be vice president at the time. He just kind of fell into the presidency. Neat. Was he a good president? Fuko shrugs. He was certainly a president. He couldn't do much since he only had the office for 2 years. And he was constantly dealing with the aftermath of the scandals of his predecessor. Yeah, that sounds rough. I wouldn't want to be in his position either. Did he do anything notable? He gave Nixon a full pardon. So not too much. I think he met with our PM in Kyoto in '74. So we are Japanese. Okay, like the way he was talking made it sound like he wasn't even from there. So yeah, we have confirmed. We are Japanese, and we are, assuming based on context, the two countries with accommodations for giants are Japan and America. So that probably means Jotun is some kind of weird international collaboration. Joe, 74. How do you know so much about mediocre American presidents? When I can't sleep, I just research heads of state online. I get that. I've gone down some rabbit holes. Know anything interesting about Japanese PMs? Was the Japanese Prime Minister in the early 21st century that really wanted Japanese people to have sex? Oh, Shinzo Abe-san, we salute your memory. Just can't remember his name at the moment. Sounds like quite the character. When I think about it, I don't know any names for Japanese aircraft carriers. Do we even have any? Yeah, we have a few. We used to have a lot more, but then the military made some very spicy decisions. We weren't allowed to have any for a while, which is really dumb. I was saying, World War II has been over for a while. We really need to roll back the restrictions on Japan so they can have their own defense. America should not be the world police, is what I'm saying. Wait a sec, I remember seeing some Japanese aircraft carriers in the Jotun Harbor. I thought we weren't allowed to have any under Article 9. No, those are helicopter destroyers. Completely different, I assure you. How are they different? They look the same. We don't call them aircraft carriers, so it's fine. Fuku lets out a hearty laugh. International law is silly. You have no idea, dude. Yeah, it sure is. If American names our boats after presidents, what do we name our boats after? Phoenixes, dragons, mountains, or provinces? Got a favorite? The glorious Yamato, of course. Yamato. I don't know why I said it so weird. It's the biggest battleship ever made, a girthy 260-meter-long hull. Didn't it get sunk after being in service for 4 years? That's not the point! Symbolize the very spirit of the Japanese nation. We had the largest guns ever mounted on the warship at a whopping 46 centimeters. Didn't it only fire its guns once? Once was all it needed. If the Yamato were made 20 years earlier, Japan would be a superpower to this day. It kind of is, in a way. Stupid aircraft had to be invented and warp the entire meta. If Itaku and Noodle were here, they would definitely have inputs for that. Sounds like a skill issue to me. If I was a warship, I'd simply avoid the torpedoes and aerial bombardment. You insult the Yamato again and I'll bombard you! The Yamato is overrated. Much prefer the... falls forward onto me and the whole world goes dark. Oh right, I have that, I have the rider belt. That, like, makes it so I don't get crushed. My upper body's engulfed in her boob, my lower body's smothered in her belly. Push she can thrash, but she doesn't budge. That's what you get. I start squeezing and slapping her plumpness with all my might. Feels nice. Why does this keep happening to me? Almost like warm dough fresh out of the oven. I didn't say you could touch my belly. Fuko cackles as she begins violently slapping me with her belly. Belly bomb! Fuko is smothering me for the next few minutes, but soon stops abruptly. Fuko rolls over and stares up at the sky. She's panting, sweating, even shivering a little. Her tongue's even hanging out of the side of her mouth. Are you okay? Fuko nods weakly and rests her hand on her belly. Leave me be. I need to recharge my MP. You say so. On the way from Fuko and back to the center of the deck. Wasn't expecting such a history lesson from her. I feel closer to Fuko and a little more intelligent now. A little jingle plays for being interrupted by a voice over the ship's intercom. Dinner will be commencing in 5 minutes. All giants, please report to the deck for your meals. Jun, Hifumi, Fuko, Yuyu, and I all gather at the center of the carriers and see the tarmac slide open. Dinner time! Dinner time! Any idea what they're serving us? No idea, but I'm sure it'll be tasty. Tables arise in the interior of the carrier, piled high with various tan bags and bottles of alcohol of various sizes. Some champagne, some beer, mostly wine. Cheap kind, too. What the heck are these? Hifumi approaches one of the tables and picks up one of the bags. Meal ready to eat? Oh. Oh, Hifumi, I am so sorry. You are about to be the most heartbroken you will ever be. Hell yeah, we're eating MREs! Jun tears open the bag, flips it over, and starts shaking the contents into her mouth. The contents look like the inside of a chunky burrito? Looks like the kind of thing college student would eat stoned out of his mind at 2 a.m. Looks delicious. MREs? Rations, the only thing soldiers eat in the fields. Oh. Jun licks some of the barbecue sauce off her lips and reaches for another. Come on, don't look so down. These things are great, especially for bulking up. It's one of these things has enough calories, carbs, and protein to get you through the day. Jun tears open another bag and takes out a biscuit. It looks hard and rough to the touch and is slathered with an equally hard-looking cheese spread. Looks more like a bludgeoning weapon than a snack. Jun offers the bag to Hifumi. Come on, try one. Hifumi sheepishly reaches into the bag, pulls out a biscuit, and sniffs it. How's it smell? It doesn't. Hifumi closes her eyes and takes a bite. What's it taste like? Canned cheese? Hifumi continues to slowly chew the biscuit. Very salty. Do you hate it? No. Kinda tastes like those cheese snacks my old school used to sell. You're joking. Nope, try some. Hifumi breaks off a crumb and hands it to me. I catch it and put it in my mouth. Wow, canned cheese is far more accurate than I was expecting. Why did you doubt her? I think that's a pretty good summary. Salty. Terribly salty. I feel my mouth drying out with every bite. I take one of the already open bottles of champagne, press it to my lips, and wash the biscuit down. I wipe my lips and take a deep breath. Got anything a bit less salty? Try the fruit puree. Fruit puree. Jun points to a thick, heavy-looking bag. Basically apple and strawberry sauce. That sounds really good, actually. Open the bag and squeeze some of the contents into my mouth. Wow, that's actually pretty good. Just tart applesauce. Gimme! Hifumi snags the bag and bottle away from me. She empties the rest of the sauce in her mouth and gulps it down. Ah, that's so sweet. Hifumi downs the rest of the champagne bottle. Poor. Dang, that's good champagne. Hifumi grabs another bottle before returning back to Jun. Any other recommendations, Jenny? That depends on what you're in the mood for. If you're looking for something savory, there's some beef stew and chili macaroni packets here. Jun points to the bags closer to me. If you're looking for something a bit more simple, there's some pizza and rice and bean bags next to Naoya. Gimme! Hifumi grabs random bags for feasting away with Jun. Let's look like they'll be occupied for a while. Might as well see what Yuri's sisters are. Oh, they're sisters! I'm not sure we've had that established yet. Well, I guess it makes sense. They both have green hair. But it seems like, slightly different. Well, I guess, yeah, like they're mostly hair, aren't they? I see Fuko with her hands wrist deep in a bag labeled Vanilla Pound Cake Trans Fat Free. She's popping little cakes in her mouth like they're potato chips. They're not a little for her. The cakes look to be the size of my fist. She looks very content. How are the desserts? Pretty moist. It tastes like those bad cakes you find at Konbinis. No kidding. Yes, kidding. Fuko pulls out a cake out of her bag and puts it on my head. Try one. I do as Fuko says. She wasn't exaggerating. It really is moist. It tastes exactly the way it looks, too. Completely normal vanilla cake. There's no flavor nearly as sweet. Now I'm craving something salty. It's actually pretty tasty. Look up at Yuyu. Her eyes have been scanning the rows of bags since they arrived. What's wrong? You looking for a ramen bag? No. Yuyu clears her throat. I'm just fascinated by these things. They're so different from how I normally prepare food. Really. I grab a bag of Mexican rice and beans, sit down in front of the Yugiri sisters, and start shoving the contents into my mouth. The food is cold, but plenty edible. Something about it's cozy. Eating fancy food on a boat like this wouldn't feel right. It'd be disrespectful to the high seas. Buddy, you're just making this up as you go. The only proper meal on a night like tonight would be hardtack. Perfect meal for an aspiring sea dog like myself. Yeah, okay. How so? When I make ramen, it's designed to be eaten then and there. Not 3 hours from now, and definitely not 3 years from now. I also have to think about how to best present the food. When eating out, the way the food looks matters almost as much as how the food tastes. Nobody wants to photograph or eat something that looks like garbage, after all. Yu picks up a ramen MRE and dangles it in front of her face. These things don't have to worry about presentation. They don't have to worry about looking trendy. They don't even have to worry about looking tasty. All rations have to worry about is keeping you alive. Rations are more effective at providing you calories and nutrients. Are they the superior food? No. No. Speaking as someone who has tried MREs, I've never been military, but I had the chance once, and let's just say I was not impressed. Superior meal is the one prepared by a cute girl. You boys are so simple. You're not disagreeing with me. True. Yu opens the bag and starts slurping noodles out of it. Yu looks empty. No, she looks defeated. What's wrong? Yu holds the bag of noodles out to me. Try it. Does it taste bad? Try it. I do as Yu says and slurp some noodles out of the bag. It tastes like your ramen. Yu's eyes narrow. But cheaper, of course. Yu slumps forward and rubs her temple. How could this be? How could they get something so similar to my family's recipe? Maybe your mom and the military chef took inspiration from the same source. That makes sense. Ramen's still ramen at the end of the day. 2 bowls of ramen can only be so different from each other. But I may have to rethink my recipe. Can't have my food comparable to rations. Yu says as she slurps up more noodles. I need to refine my recipe. Maybe you could make MRE ramen. You could sell it as a take-home item. It's not a bad idea. May have to promote you to president of the marketing division. Well, vice president of the marketing division. I appreciate it, chef. What booze are you two drinking tonight? Red wine, nothing but the finest for a refined lady like myself. Fuko says as her fingers and cheeks are coated in cheese dust. They didn't have any Mexican beer, so I'm trying this Filipino one instead. Why the Filipino one? Philippines is basically Asian Mexico. What? Is it? Is that true? Filipino bros, into the comments. Tell me, is that true? Their beer should taste like Mexican beer. I know there is some cultural crossbreeding there, so I'm just like, I mean that in like the idea sense, not necessarily the literal genetic sense, but that is, I believe, also technically true. That being said, please go to the comments and enlighten me. Having never been, I would be curious to know. Yu laughs for taking a swig of the beer. Yu smacks her lips for taking another. Mind if I try some? Yu rolls a smaller bottle over to me. I pick it up and take a closer look at the label. It's got a red horseshoe and the silhouette of a horse. Just a cap off and take a whiff. Smells like liquid bread. That's to be expected. Take a swig and tastes cheap, but cozy. I feel like I'm in the target demographic for this. It's mildly sweet, but nothing special. I look up at Yu and see 2 empty beer bottles resting beside her. Hee. Borp. That's good. How did you down all that so fast? It tastes so cheap. Tastes like Friday night, baby. Can't argue with that. I'll stick with white wine. Yu pours me a glass of white wine. There's a lot of drinking this episode. I mean, again, I don't really partake, but it's interesting that there suddenly is. Here you go. Thank you. Yu, Fuko, and I take turns sharing and comparing various MREs until... Now, yeah. I picked up and twirled around like a stuffed animal. I find myself hugged against Hifumi's chest. Yu, Fufu. Hifumi's giggling to herself. Let's play truth or dare. Oh, this is going to go a dangerous direction. Hifumi hiccups. Jun comes stumbling in behind Hifumi, clearly drunk as well. I think I need to screen cap this so I can share this with the bros. Truth or dare? Pfft, this ain't 6th grade. That's a capital idea. Eh? Sounds fun to me. You guys are such dweebs. What's wrong with playing truth or dare? It is a popular bonding mechanic shared across countless cultures. Yeah, for children. I'm down to play. Fine, count me in. Yay, thank you, Jenny. Hifumi hugs Jun's leg. Yeah. Jun pats Hifumi's head for... Yeah, I forgot that, despite how their portraits look, Jun is, like, significantly taller than Hifumi is. I think she was said to be the tallest? I'll need to go back and check, but, like, I think Jun or Maya were the biggest, I believe. I think Hifumi and Fuko are relatively small by comparison. How's this gonna work? Who decides to go first? Fate shall decide who goes first. Fuko reaches into her shirt and pulls out a d20 the size of my head. Do you always have that on you? A true paladin always comes prepared. Ooh, she has good taste in classes. Fuko starts shaking the dice in her hand. 1 to 4 means Hifumi starts, 5 to 8 means Jun starts, 9 to 12 means Sis starts, 13 to 16 means I start, and 17 to 20 means Naoya starts. Then we'll go clockwise. Sound good? Everyone nods. Very well, 3, 2, 1, go! Fuko throws the die. It lands on a 20. Everyone turns to me. That is quite the array of facial expressions. I'm actually impressed that, like, in a game like this, all the girls fit in one panel. Though in real life, like, Jun would be, like, way off, like, way up there, like, past the save and load buttons. Hifumi would probably be, like, lower, and then, like, I forget how big Yu is supposed to be. Oh. Can I ask everybody a question? Absolutely, my liege. Got it. I cross my arms and think hard on what to ask. What? I guess technically it's a prompt. Game devs, I love you, but this game's gonna get me demonetized if I play the full version. This one. What cup size you all rockin'? Why? Okay, this is gonna run into a lot of trouble. Not just because of the facial expressions each of them are making, but because there's a cultural thing about this. Like, yes, I actually know how this works. So, the American standard is a little different than the Japanese standard, which is different than the European standard. It depends on where you're from. So here's the thing. In America, it doesn't just go A, B, C, D, E, F, G. It's not that simple. Because for some reason, when you hit D, it goes double D, then triple D, then E, and I believe there's a double for several of the letters, but I forget which ones exactly. It's really weird, and it varies a little bit depending on manufacturer. So, that being said, in Japan, it is just an A, B, C, D, E, F, G progression. So, like, a double D in America would not just be an E in Japanese, because the Japanese letters are scaled one smaller than their American counterpart. So a Japanese D is an American C, and a Japanese C is an American B. And the Japanese A means that she basically has a concave chest. So anything they're going to tell us here is going to be completely meaningless, not only because we lack cultural context, but also because they are on a completely different level, like literally a completely different scale than any normal person could conceivably measure using metrics that we have today. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Y cup last time I measured. You're willing to just give up that kind of information? Why wouldn't I be? It's just now, yeah, we've already seen each other naked plenty of times. What? When? We used to bathe together all the time as kids. Oh, that doesn't count. That was when you two are such great friends. What the hell's that supposed to mean? Can't really know somebody until you explore their body in great detail. Says the woman who was just on top of me. I'll take sentences I didn't think I was going to be saying today for 400, Alex. At least that's what I've been told. Freaking Y-cups, man! Jun reaches down and grabs both of Hifumi's boobs in his one hand. Why did you get puppies like these? What are you eating? Hifumi giggles, but doesn't try to pry herself. Hifumi strikes me as the type who genuinely does not care, so like if another woman tried to manhandle her, she'd laugh it off. I have no idea. I guess everyone just has growth spurts in different places. Jun continues casually playing with Hifumi's chest. I swear. Good lord, man. Get a grip. It feels like she's leaning into Jun's hand. She is a cheerleader. She's used to lots of attention. What about you, Junie? How big are you? J. Hifumi giggles. What's so funny? I know what Jacobs look like, and yours aren't J's. They're E's. What? Jun's gigantic! And if you scale it to height, they'd be even bigger. You think I'm lying about this? Jun squeezes Hifumi. He shivers and bites her lip as her eyes start to roll back. Just likely, studies show that 2 in 5 giants experience some form of size envy. In my estimation, it's like 5 out of 5 women do, but what do I know? I don't experience any size envy. Neither does Maya. Because Maya's the biggest girl. I'm totally fine with my size. Three of us focus on Yu and Jun. I'm not jealous. Why do you keep searching up breast massage tutorials on your computer? You can see that. Duh. Who do you think managed the internet in the apartment? I was learning how to screen for breast cancer. It's never too early to start screening. This game's super gonna get me demonetized, but I love it. Sure. You takes a swig of beer for tackling Fuko and groping her. Oh, of course, they had to animate this scene. I figured that you didn't hog all the food growing up. Fuko squirms, the disgusting cackle oozes from her lips. She sounds like she's enjoying this. It's not my fault I have a big appetite. Yu's grips them faster and stronger by the second. Also, Yu's trying to tear them off. I have to do this like a Bravely Default. Yu starts grumbling like a coked out chihuahua. Got all the dominant genes and I got all the recess. Oh, good. We Metal Gear now. You took everything before I was even born. Literally quoting Metal Gear Solid here. Come on, sis. Tiny boobs have a market too. Use Fugo's moves with greater intensity. Eep. Fugo kicks and squirms. It looks like she's having fun. They're not tiny. They're C-cups. Sure they are. They are using Japanese sizes. So she's a B at best. Since they're concave even when using Japanese sizes. I never knew drunk Ifumi had such a sharp tongue. Kinda hot. You take that back. You grab Ifumi by the boob, pulls her to the ground right beside her. John, pick me up. You got it, Pipsqueak. Scoop's gonna hold you high to get me a better view of the action. Yeah. Should I use this as a thumbnail? Would that get me demonetized? That would almost certainly get me demonetized, right? The way you use live fingers into Ifumi and Fuko's plump boobs. You know, we were having a moment until this happened. The way Ifumi and Fuko's breasts press against each other. Sultry smirk. This is what heaven looks like. Freaking cow and not flat. You slaps Ifumi's boob as a ripple and slosh against Fuko's. Harder, mommy. Oh, I love this game, but there's no way I'm going to get away with a full playthrough of this. She bites her lip and exhales through her nose. Must resist urges. Because sexy thoughts. 3.1415926535897932338. Stop being weird. Apologize for insulting my boobs. Use as a container rub and squeeze. Ifumi smirks at you for reaching up and cupping her chest. What boobs? Ah! I can't do the Bruce Lee voice. You start striking faster than I can track, but only for a few moments. Is that all? Ifumi trembles. You are already... Nani? Two dark circles grow on from... I'm definitely not going to get away with this. Should I stop? It's like, do I just need to stop while I'm behind? She's trembling and sweating, but can't stop smiling. Moonlight glistens against her now milky. Women don't do that unless they're pregnant. I'm just saying. Well, okay, there's a couple medical conditions technically that can cause it to happen outside of pregnancy, but generally, I'm digging this grave deeper. Let me go. I struggle against Jun's grasp. No, Pipsqueak, it's too much for you! Nonsense! I need to fulfill my destiny! You can't handle it! It will kill you! Are you really going to jump, even if it means cutting your life short? Shut up! I'll drink it, even if it kills me! I bite Jun's finger, causing her to release me. I fall for 3 whole seconds. Grow closer and closer until I collide with Ifumi's boob. Soft as can be. Exciting as it is familiar. I want to bury myself in you forever. The pleasure is short-lived. Her breast recoils around me, and I ricochet back upwards and back into Jun's hand. Jun starts cackling and drops me again. My body's engulfed in Fumi's boob and shot up once again. It's even funnier the second time. Johnny, stop that! Ifumi's breath remains shaky, his arms and legs linked together and continue to tremble. Sorry, you okay? Ifumi's breath remains heavy. Each inhale causes her breath to surge out of the sides of her top. wet top as he's ready to fall to pieces at any minute. Yeah, just... Nobody touch me. There's no telling what I might do. The four of us stare down at Hifumi in silence for a few moments as she collects herself. Little by little, Hifumi's breathing comes under control. Her limbs start shaking, her face becomes less perverse. She sits up back upright and straightens her back. Sorry about that, thanks for waiting. The hell happened there? Hifumi's sitting upright, her cheeks are still flushed, and she's swaying from side to side. She still looks like she's ready to teeter over at any moment. Nothing, just... He bites her lip again. You ever been so horny you can't keep your body from moving? No. No. Yes. That's what happened. Don't worry, I'm better now. Mostly. Wanna hold now, yeah? Yes. But that's a bad idea. Suit yourself. What are we doing again? Playing Truth or Dare? And Fuko still hasn't answered. F cup. F for Fuko, naturally. Ifumi scans Fuko real quick. She's telling the truth. Nice. Good to know. What do you think Maya's cup size is? Hell if I know. Love to find out. Why are boys so fascinated by cups? Well, I mean, cup size by itself is a little bit of a deceptive metric. There's two things that you measure it by. There's the cup, which is the overall curvature, and then there's the band, which is the actual width, which is measured by a number. Sometimes in centimeters and sometimes in inches. It depends on where you go. So, you know, large chests are one of the few cultural variables that, independent of societal pressure, there is almost a universal trend and preference for men to prefer bigger. Now, where they plateau on terms of what they consider big and big enough varies person to person, but it's basically universal even in cultures where the genetic and cultural expectation is that they're going to be relatively small. This has actually been studied rather extensively for reasons you might well understand. Never understood that. It's vital information, like knowing someone's power level or their blood type. Blood type? Last I checked, there wasn't a breast-sized horoscope. That's actually a good idea. I'd read that. Me too. Ditto. You titty monsters! You sighs and downs another bottle of beer. Who's up next? Fuko raises her hand like she really needs to take a dump in class. 'Tis I! Alright, sis, shoot. What's everyone's ideal breast size? Again, with the boobs! This episode... Am I gonna have to age restrict this video? I feel like I might have to. I guess, I don't know, enough for a handful, whatever that is. Okay, I have to weigh in on this. Whoever coined the phrase, more than a handful of waste, is an idiot. More than a handful is awesome. I'm an hour and 20-odd minutes into this, I can say that. Most humble aspiration indeed. What say you two? Bigger. How much is bigger? Bigger. I see. You truly have fallen to your deepest desires. What about you? Bigger than her. Jun motions to Hifu. Good luck with that. By the time you graduate, I'll likely be 3 times your height. You say something? I can't hear you all the way down there. My latent charisma kicks in and makes my mouth move without my consent. Wait, is this a skill check? Am I actually having a skill check here? It's capitalized. I feel like this is a skill check moment. Come on, just kiss already. What? Why? Did I say that out loud? Everyone nods. I've already dug my own grave. Might as well jump in because it'd be hot. Sounds good to me. What? He stands up, launches herself at Jun. I'm gonna have to age restrict this video. Holy crap. Cradles the back of Jun's neck, loses the sloppiest kiss I've ever seen in my entire life. Jun does stuff for 2 seconds before relaxing and leaning into Hifumi. It's like being almost double Hifumi's size. Jun is not in control. She's a little more than putty in Hifumi's capable hands. Jun shivers in delight as she returns Hifumi's kisses. Woo, 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 this is a harem flag if I ever saw one. Hifumi gets one last kiss, pulling away, wiping her mouth with her forearm. How was that? Hifumi takes another swig of wine. I'm sorry, Ditaku, I have corrupted your waifu. She is now in lesbians. And Fuko seems to approve. Jun takes a deep breath for clearing her throat. Not bad. She's remarkably more composed than Hifumi. If it wasn't for Hifumi's residue on her chin, I wouldn't have known anything happened. Yeah, well, I had fun. What about you, Naoya? What bus size strikes your... Oh, can I say all? No, no fence sitters allowed here! I'd be lying if I said flat is justice. That's a lie. If her cup size is a passing grade, I'm just not interested. Again, hour and 20 minutes into this. No one's watching. I can't resist big boobs. Umi and Jun nod proudly. Why? They're just fat. Yes, and it's awesome. Yes, and Amigo's far more cultured than I could have ever expected. I think I have to use this as the thumbnail. Yu groans even louder. I feel closer to Hifumi and Jun now. The five of us continue divulging... Wait, not Fuko? Fuko's on the big side. She is not small at all. Like, is it 2 and 2, or, like, was Fuko just not an option in this scenario? I wonder. The five of us continue divulging embarrassing information, doing silly dares for the next few hours. Unfortunately, all good things has come to an end, as we also come to the booze and retire below deck for the evening. The cots are passable. Blankets leave a lot to be desired. Cot's too small, and there's this weird smell below deck, too. Can't sleep like this. I need at least 2 more pillows. Maybe some fresh air will set my mind at ease. I get out of bed and head back above deck. I see Jun lying on the tarmac. Her hands resting under her head. She looks pensive. Hey, Jun. Jun tilts her head to the side to look at me. Hey, Pipsqueak. Can't sleep either? Nah. I shake my head and lie down next to Jun. The air is frigid, but Jun's body heat keeps me plenty warm. I can even see steam rise off her body. You go swimming again? Yeah, I thought swimming a few laps around the carrier would help. Only made me more awake. Is there something in particular keeping you up? I think I'm just excited. That's an unfortunate thing to say after what just happened. I've never been to Tokyo before. You're a Kanto kid, ain't ya? How the hell have you never been to Tokyo? Never really go outside much as a kid. Sorry? Overbearing parents? Hell no, my parents are great. I just wasn't exactly a healthy kid. You want to talk about it? Nah, you don't need to hear my sob story. I'd like to, though. Why? I'd like to learn more about you. Jun's lip trembles, but only for a moment. Thanks, but maybe later. You say so. I bet that was probably a check, if I had to guess. Because I have basically not interacted with Jun up to this point. So she probably, like, if I had spent time with her and built up some of her path, I bet she probably would have talked about it here. So that's interesting. What's Tokyo like, if you don't mind me asking? It's big. Practically another world. There's a little something for everyone there. There's Ginza for bougie people, Akihabara for nerds, and Shinjuku for party animals. Ginza. Wasn't that where the first kaiju attacked? Yep. Is it still demolished? No, they were able to rebuild it real fast thanks to Giantess engineers. Maybe I should test out their work. Please do not attack Ginza. Come on, it'll be fun. Yeah, for you. Is there anything you wanted to do in Tokyo? This is going to sound dumb, so if you laugh, I'll flick you into the ocean. Make no promises. Chun moves her hand towards me and presses the tip of her index finger to the edge of her thumb. I feel like I'm staring into a loaded cannon. I always wanted to climb the sky tree. Why would I laugh at that? That rules. You really think so? Hell yeah, why do you want to climb it, though? Nobody's ever done it before. I'd like to break at least one world record in my life. Aside from that, I don't know. This seems like something a kaiju should be doing. Snatching a tiny away, climbing up a big building, fighting planes and crushing tanks. That's life for me right there. I can imagine Jun snatching me away and fighting tooth and nail to keep me in her clutches. It's exciting me far more than it should. It's nice to feel desired. What about you? Any records you want to break? Longest life, richest man. Those are both... That's interesting. So that's interesting in multiple ways, because, like, I see an argument for both, and I also see a lot of downsides in both. Like, for longest life, yeah, okay, you're doing something right? But at the same time, you just kind of become a footnote in history. Like, oh, here's some old dude who's constantly having to have his hip replaced every 3 years. The richest man, it's like, yeah, you get to live a life of wealth and luxury, but most wealth isn't liquid. It's in assets. It's in solid investment. It's like you don't really throw money around and everyone in the world hates you just by virtue of envy culture. So, like, it's kind of a damned if you do, damned if you don't. I'll be honest, I'd probably go richest man. But I kind of want to see her reaction to longest life, given that she has, like, the whole vitalism thing going on. Like that, the longest lifespan. Ooh, that's a neat goal. What's the record so far? With or without implants? Both? I'll take out my phone and look it up. Without, it's 142 years! With implants, it's 190... What is this Methuselah culture? What is happening here? That's insane! Yeah, seniors have been living healthier, too. A lot of people nowadays are able to run and do complex math well into their 90s now. Why do you even want to live so long? Because I don't want to die. Afraid of death, are you? No, just can't look at boobs when I'm... Bro! Come on! Jun just shakes her head and laughs. You don't know that. What if there's boobs in heaven? No rush to find out. Question. If you could prolong your life indefinitely, but you had to transfer your consciousness into a different mechanical body every few decades or so, would you do it? Absolutely. No. That's transhumanism, and I'm not a fan. First off, let's put all theological possibility aside. Let's assume that this would just work, okay? Let's table that, does the teleporter kill the crew of Star Trek question, and just throw it out into the ocean here for a minute. Let's just assess this on its own merits. Could you do it in that context, assuming everything just works? Like, move your brain and maybe your spinal column into a robot body. Would I be willing to do that? Honestly, the answer is kind of no. Even if you made a synthetic body that could in every way replicate the sensations, taste, smell, feel, touch, sight, hearing, all of it, just the same way as a human body, there would always be some kind of synthetic limitations to it, no matter how long it lasted or how well it worked. And there's something about that, like, giving up my body in order to pursue some kind of prolonged immortality. You would just be living inside of an iron lung. Like, you're basically you'd be living out your existence in the way that Iron Man did in his original Inception when he couldn't get out of the suit. So it's like, is that living? Are you alive? Even if you can do everything just fine. Let's assume this works 100%. There's no drawbacks whatsoever, just for the sake of argument. Like, are you alive? Would you be living? Are you actually feeling things, or are you being told that you're feeling things? Like, at what point does this stop becoming some kind of weird transhumanist fantasy, and when does this start becoming some unholy mix of Battle Angel Alita and the Matrix? Just food for thought. Really, you're not even going to think about it? Put me in the machine, I don't care. Being a cyborg sounds awesome. Always wanted a rocket punch. Me too. Is there anything else you'd want to do while you were in Tokyo? I don't know, just city stuff, I guess? Eat at a cafe, see a movie, just walk around? It sounds so mundane for you. I guess so. Not everybody gets to enjoy mundane things. Jun's voice is sincere, yet vulnerable. She's speaking from experience. Guess not. I yawn, feel my body start to relax. All this time, the heat from Jun's body is slowly lulling me to sleep. Before I know it, my eyes slam shut. Oi, pipsqueak! Jun pokes me in the side. Aww. Jun hesitates for scooping me up and resting her on what feels like I think he meant resting me on what feels like her abs. Her hand cradles me close to her. I know you're still awake. Chun's thumb presses against my back. Thanks for being such a good friend. Means a lot. Aw, I feel a warm surge in my chest before I fall asleep. You have reached the end of the demo. Thank you so much for playing. I kind of suspected when we got on the aircraft carrier and they were setting up for the convention, I felt like I was on the tail end of things. And now that I'm an hour and 30 minutes into this mess, I can kind of give my thoughts about everything overall, and especially now that I have kind of a clearer understanding of how the game works. This is really good, and I'm going to say, like, it's quite ecchi. I knew the game was ecchi, just from the character design. Hifumi and Maya alone are kinda ecchi, right? And that's not bad. Ecchi is fine. I am not against ecchi. If anyone has been on my channel long enough, you already know that. That being said, there is a lot of heart. There's a lot of ecchi. Like, let me stress, there is a lot of ecchi comedy. There's a lot of silly, immature humor. The writer clearly has a sense of humor akin to a middle school boy, and God bless ya, so do I. So, you know what? Respect the hustle. But, like, there is genuine heart. There are moments in this game that genuinely gave me pause for thought. Moments with Maya where she's talking about her ex-husband. That's really genuine. That was really interesting. Fuko struggling to make friends. Like, then you have like the end right there, that last bit with Jun, where she's having this very sincere moment of vulnerability. And it's actually really interesting to me that she elected to have that moment with me, despite the fact that I basically have not spoken to her since the intro, because my interests lie elsewhere. But here's the thing, that's a really good sign. You have all these great characters who are all really interesting with big personality, more than being giantesses or just plus-sized, which many of them definitely are. You have a big stage presence, and that is even more important, especially for what is ostensibly a visual novel with a couple dice rolls. And I love that. I do. I genuinely feel this has, despite the very, very, very ecchi trappings of the game, it is clearly a passionate project of people who care about these characters and want you to care about the characters too. And that's awesome. 100% on board. Playing through this has already been super fun. I laughed a lot. I had a lot of fun. I love learning about these characters. I love the stat building element. Again, it's very akin to Monster Rancher. Big fan. Turns out that was not actually a deliberate Monster Rancher reference in the first video, by the way. That was a coincidence, as it turns out. Small world. But I love this game. I will definitely get the full version. I'm gonna be honest, it kind of feels like this is probably the most provocative game I've yet played. I am going to attempt to not age restrict these videos if I possibly can. If YouTube gives me a hard time, I'll not fight it, and I will. But I feel like there's deniable plausibility, and as small as my channel is, I've been able to kind of sail below radar anyway. So you guys give me your thoughts. First off, who's your favorite girl? That's what I want. Go to the comments. Here's the questions for you. Who's your favorite girl? Who are you personally going to go after? 2, what are you curious about? Like, I can shoot the game devs a DM real quick and maybe get an answer. So if you have questions about this world and the world building, definitely leave them in the comments. I'll pass them along and maybe get an answer, maybe not. They're not they're not obligated to answer me, but I am super curious about so much stuff that's going on here. This has been so much fun. I love this game. I will be following it along. And also the third question I wish to offer is, do you guys want to see a full playthrough of my personal run of the game? Let me know. This has been the Hipster Snek, now completing the demo of Big Beautiful Women. Link in the description so you can try it for yourselves. I will see you guys next time.